Okay, well, let's begin. Ladies and gentlemen, it's December 5th, 2020, the longest year of any of our lives. I'm Owen Egerton, and welcome to the One Page Salon, the final One Page Salon of 2020. Not only brought to you by the Writers League of Texas, but also tonight benefiting the Writers League of Texas. You can see my ingredients of a hot toddy, in case that's what you need, equal parts hot water and larceny. Equal parts, equality, I think a little more on the whiskey, a little bit of honey. I avoid that because of diabetes. Squeeze of lemon, some bitters, and a jaunty disposition. That's all you need. That's the perfect drink for a night like tonight. It's the official drink of the 2020 last One Page Salon. We've got like a slew of great writers today. We've got so many cool things. But to get things started, you can see some of them right there on the side. You can just scroll down and see all the folks. We've also got a really great amount of people in the chat room. So if you're watching this on Zoom, if you were doing the Zoom thing, you can log on to chat. It's the only reading series where it's polite to talk during the reading. You can definitely do that. If you're watching on YouTube, you can still chat, but probably no one will hear you. So either way is good with us. And we really do have a really great selection of people who are going to be sharing one page, often of a work in progress. And I'm really, really thrilled to be hearing from these folks. We've also got a silent auction going on right now. And to tell us more about that, Executive Director of the Writers League of Texas, Becca Oliver.
Hey.
Hi, Becca.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about the auction throughout the evening, but we're just gonna start by saying first a big thank you to everybody who contributed. There's some really, really amazing auction items that if you are able to, our auction ends tonight with the One Page Salon. So if you're able to go over and take a look, we hope you will. Early and often, we encourage you having a couple hot toddies and then really going to visit the silent auction. I find it to be a really great thing to do a little shopping when you've had some hot toddies. So, but we'll talk more about it.
I bid what? To hang out with John Pipkin?
When I still worked at a talent agency for a while, I bid way more money than I want to admit for a private tour of the set of Cougar Town.
Wow. Did you get it? Did you win it?
Of course I did. I mean, I'm not a bidder in auctions. I'm a winner of auctions.
Oh.
But you can't really use the word winner because you're paying a lot of money. So, it's not necessarily like you won it, you bought it. But anyways, the point is, I never did take that tour, but I did pay a good bit of money for it. So I encourage everyone to go over and look at the silent auction. But something that, and actually I'm going to ask if you guys don't mind for a minute, Owen and I are going to have a little tete-a-tete. And then we're going to bring everybody back on before they read. So if you guys, our panelists, don't mind, turning off your video and your audio, because Owen and I are about to have just a real serious conversation.
So all these great writers and great staff members, we'll be seeing them throughout the evening and as they read, super excited. But yes, right now it's just Becca and myself.
Time for a little conversation. So we were talking about this auction. I think you remember, Owen.
I do.
And we were talking about how maybe there was an opportunity for us, two very competitive people. Are you competitive? I don't know if you're. Yeah.
I'm the most competitive.
Okay. Two competitive people to maybe do something in the room this evening that might get people excited, might do something fun for the Writers League, for the auction. So we have come up with some really great graphics for you guys throughout the night. I can't wait for you to see all of them. But this is the first one.
The sequel to the Da Vinci Code.
Evan gets super, super high points for all of the work on the graphics. So Owen and I decided to drop two items into the auction that have not been on offer up till now. Am I right, Owen?
That's right.
We're actually going to just have a friendly side competition to see whose auction item can generate, the most interest throughout the night.
Yes.
So here they are.
You sell yours, I'll sell mine.
Sounds like a good idea. What if I'd like to sell yours and you sell mine.
Brilliant. I like that even better. That's much better. Yes.
Thank you.
Take
All
it
right,
away.
so guys, here's the chance of a lifetime. We're calling it Spring Screenwriting Fling with Owen Egerton. It is your chance to enjoy 2 45-minute phone calls or Zoom conversations with Owen and have him read, if you choose, a screenplay and give you feedback on it. So Owen is going to introduce people. If you've never written a screenplay, but you're a little screenwriting curious, as they say, you're going to be able to spend 45 minutes with Owen, have him talk to you about the process, have him talk to you about how he approaches a new piece of work. And then you're going to go off, you're going to do your thing. You're going to write that screenplay. You're going to bring it back to Owen. He's going to read it. He's going to give you feedback on it. And then he's going to get on the blower with you again for 45 minutes and talk about all of the great things that he wants to talk to you about and give you the input and the inspiration and the all the good stuff that you need to move forward. So whether you are interested in writing screenplays, full time as a gig, and you just want to learn a little more from someone, or great question, Laurel Sienna, or if you're thinking about taking a novel or some other piece that you've already written and turning it into a screenplay, or when I was a literary agent, some of my favorite clients were screenwriters because they would outline their novels with a screenplay before they even wrote page 1. So if you want to do that, but you want to learn what that process is, you want to spend your spring in a fling doing screenwriting with Owen Egerton. It's priceless, guys. We couldn't put a price on it. That's why it's priceless. But we're starting the bidding at $200.
I like Michael No's question. Can we turn it into a novel and then into a screenplay and back into a novel? So
yes.
It'll be the novelization.
Yes.
Yeah, novelization of the screenplay, which was based on a novel. That's
yes.
Yes.
I also want to remind everybody that if you're writing in the chat box, only if you want to, but if you're writing in the chat box and you want all of us to see it, I referenced Laurel's a minute ago. Send it to all panelists and attendees, and then we'll be able to see it. So so that's Owen Egerton's. Don't bid on mine, guys. Bid on Owen Egerton's. It's amazing. I might bid on it. I'm sure I will after I finish this hot toddy.
But wait a second, before you write that check, there's something more exciting coming your way. Now, we already know that you have some brilliant piece of work that's been developed, the manuscript that you've bled your soul onto the pages. But the question is, how do you get it through that door? How do you get it in front of people's eyes who want to be obsessed with your work? Well, the answer is a query letter to an agent. So how do you find that? It's the most difficult thing. It's the question that everyone's living out on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. How do you make that person fall in love on one date? The answer is you find a guru, and that guru is right above us. It's Becca Oliver. Now, this is what she's offering. Never been offered before. Becca Oliver, not only the executive director of the Writers League of Texas, but also a former agent. She also gave up touring the set of Cougar Town because she was so busy helping writers out. And this is what she's going to offer. If you win her prize, then you get not one, but 2 45-minute solo conversations, phone, Zoom, to talk about your query letter. She's going to give you all the ins and the outs of how to do it, how to shape it, what should go into it, what should go out of it. Not only that, she's going to read in between those conversations your first draft. She's going to read it and give some thoughts. And then she's going to read your second one. You need this. And then you're going to have this perfect representation of your work and you as a writer. But it doesn't stop there. Then Becca Oliver is going to help you choose 5 agents. And she knows them. She hangs out with them. She's going to Cabo with agents all the time. Just crazy agent parties. You know they happen. And she's doing that. She's going to help you pick out the top 5 that she feels that you should be sending that query letter to. What is that? Well, I don't know. If you have an organ to sell, try and selling that on the dark internet right now, and then come back with that money and nail the query, find the agent with Becca Oliver.
Yeah.
Those
good job. I might bid on that one too.
Yeah. I have an agent. I still might.
Look, for anyone who's asking if it guarantees representation by an agent, there's only so much I can do. But I'm going to take you as far as I can take you, okay? It's called nail the query, find the agent, not find the query, nail the agent. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
We're doing it yeah, but I'm going to help you out. Okay, so that's what we wanted to highlight before we jump into the more important business. I think, Owen, you probably, I'm going to bow out of the screen. I want to see, oops.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Let's just jump right into it. So this is One Page Salon. For those of you guys who've never been to the One Page Salon, before James is going to come up, I'm going to do a tradition of the One Page Salon where I will read a page by someone who cannot be here tonight. This is something that we often do, and this night's no different. I'm going to read something from Rilke right here. This is Rilke's Book of Hours. This is a particular translation. It's just a beautiful one, and I've been revisiting it recently. Now, it's not the cheeriest of poems, but I do kind of feel as I'm sort of approaching the end of this year that there's sort of, I don't know, how do you balance a year that has had so many reasons to mourn, so many reasons to rethink, so many reasons to challenge how you perceive the world, and also so many reasons to hope for what comes next. For me, Rilke kind of allows all those ingredients to mess up together like a good hot toddy. So this is from Rilke's Book of Hours. Your first word of all was light, and time began. Then for long you were silent. Your second word was man, and fear began, which grips us still. Are you about to speak again? I don't want your third word. Sometimes I pray, please don't talk. Let all your doing be by gesture only. Go on writing in faces and stone what your silence means. Be our refuge from the wrath that drove us out of paradise. Be our shepherd, but never call us. We can't bear to know what's ahead. That's our first page of the night. Okay, let's introduce our first reader of the night. We do have a really great setup. One of my favorite writers who actually had a debut novel coming out this year, and it was so damn good. Really, really beautiful. James Wade, he's in Austin, as so many of you guys know, with his wife Jordan, who's definitely his better half. He's got a bunch of short stories out there in the world, and All Things Left Wild, did beautiful stuff and kind of took the Western lovers and literary fans by storm this year. Give it up for James Wade.
Hello.
Hi, James.
Man, my face hurts from smiling at seeing you and Becca on my screen. It's been a hard year, as we all know, and my God, man, it's so great to hear y'all's banter and to see all these beautiful faces. And thank you so much for having me, Owen. I appreciate it. I know I reached out to you, which I would say that I don't like reaching out to ask for favors, but I think you would probably call BS on that because I feel like I've asked more favors of you than anyone else. But when I heard we were doing the Writers League of Texas, I knew I wanted to read. I try to read once a year at One Page Salon, and I already read in January. I hosted in February, so I wanted to bow out and let other people, have their chance. But I had to shoulder my way into this because I love the Writers League of Texas so much, and just I'm like an evangelical Writers League of Texas preacher that just goes out into the nether regions of Texas and just tells everybody that they should join the Writers League of Texas and they should take advantage of all its awesome programming like I did. And so that's why on the online auction tonight, I've got a private class that I'm offering to help folks. It's called The End and the Beginning, Finishing Your Novel and Starting Your Career. And it's a private class with me, and I think you can bring 4 or 5 of your friends, and I'll turn you all into budding novelists, and then also a hangout with Stacey Swan and Charlotte Gulick. I don't know if I ever say that right. And yeah, we're all gonna hang out. We're gonna talk and do the kind of inside baseball writer stories and all that.
Yeah, so, is this the after hours hangouts?
Yeah, that one. And so go and bid and let's all hang out and support this great organization. And we'll do like a half page salon tonight because I want to give some of my reading time to just like all this promotion of this group. I did a testimony online earlier this week saying that, since the novels come out, we've gotten some great feedback, and we've been fortunate enough to do these panels and do interviews and all this stuff. And one of the questions I get all the time is, where's your MFA from? Where'd you get your MFA? And I, with such pride, I tell these folks that I don't have an MFA, that I never took a college writing class. All I did was I joined the Writers League of Texas, and I took some of their classes, and I learned to write from people like Michael Noll, who left us for a farm in New Mexico, and it still breaks my heart. But the Becca's class that is on auction on how to nail the query letter, I took that class, and I can honestly say that all I did was listen to what she said. I took notes, and then I filled in my own info into her template, and it got me an agent on my first my number one agent, my first query. And it was just because of Becca. And so I can't oversell the importance of the Writers League of Texas to my career. And so for all of you would-be authors out there, for anybody at any point in your career, just go and support this group, because it's not just about supporting the hardworking staff and the awesome people and the awesome members, but it's about the future writers that can be, birthed from this group and go on to do great things. So I love you, Becca. I love you, Writers League of Texas. Thank y'all for everything. I'm so happy to be here. Owen, back to you.
Well, that's enough time. Sorry, James. We're going to go on to the next writer. That was brilliant. Your words are brilliant. And I think what you said is right on. James, as you know, we have 3 questions that I ask writers, and I know you've complained that you're all too often the first one to go, so you don't know what the questions are going to be. All the other writers will know because they've heard them before. But let me go ahead and jump into the 3 questions for tonight. Okay, what is and this actually works for you because I know you and your wife put out like your favorite books of the year, which I really thought it was cool. So what is one book that you are going to be giving during the holiday season in some way, giving to somebody?
Oh, wow. Well, actually, I'm going to be giving probably like 15 books because that's kind of like what I like, I just get people books and that's what they expect from me. And it's very like on brand. But I think probably the book I'm the most excited to give, and one of the books I was the most excited to read this year was Valentine by Elizabeth Wetmore. She too was a debut novelist, and I heard a podcast with her, a podcast called How Writers Write, and she basically broke down her story of the road that she went down to become a writer and waitressing in Chicago and working on this book for years and years and years, and to see it come out and have the success that it did has been really awesome to see. And she's a great person and deserves all that success. And it's such a beautiful book. It's set in Texas. It's set in West Texas, which is one of my favorite places. And I'm going to give that to as many people as will take it from me.
That's sweet. Okay, great. Okay, next question. Okay, if you had to quarantine, I know a lot of us have been in our homes and with our families or solo and with our pets. If you had to quarantine with the characters of one book, what book would it be?
Wow. See, this is where going first is you know what? I'm going to come back in the chat and I'm just going to list like 100 books after I read. Off the top of my head, I would just go with All the Pretty Horses. It's my favorite book. And
those characters, you want to be with those characters? I
do want to be with those characters because the 2 main characters, John Grady Cole and Lacey Rawlins, I love their friendship. I love their loyalty to one another. I respect their outlook on the world, their grittiness, their blue collarness. And I just think they would be stand-up guys to hang out with. And maybe I could talk them out of some of the mistakes they make in that book, and maybe we could have a happier ending.
Okay. All right, last question. We often have a December One Page Salon, and in fact, I think you were at the last year's December One Page Salon, and often we're sort of talking about New Year's resolutions and everything. And I love New Year's resolutions. I'm a big fan of doing stuff like that, and setting ambitions and stuff like that. But I think with this year, I have also been thinking about this year, what I've learned. There's been so much. And I know in your life, you know, even becoming a dad and the new book and so big stuff. So I've been trying to think of myself, like, what have I learned from 2020 that I'm hoping to carry with me into the new year?
Wow. Man. I would like to think that I learned, I don't know I don't know the word for it, but like just learn that everything is pliable. You know, if you had told me just, you know, a year or 2 years ago, hey man, your book's going to come out, but you're not going to ever leave your house. You know, when it's out, you're not going to see it in bookstores. You're not going to do book signings or promotions. You're going to be a dad, but your family's not going to be able to help you at all because you're never going to leave your house. You know, there's going to be a thing where you can't go to the grocery store and you have to get it delivered. And like, just so much of life has changed. And, you know, Jordan and I were and continue to be those people that, you know, maybe some of the other family members kind of look at like, you know, man, y'all really are taking this seriously, huh? But we are. And like, we haven't, you know, we go out to our camper and really that's about it. And, you know, I haven't been in a grocery store. We've gotten the HEB deliveries and all that stuff. And, you know, we're taking on the task of being first-time parents without help, you know, from family that I know is so important for a lot of first-time parents. And so, yeah, but all that complaining, I mean, we're still, you know, we're fine. And that's the point is, you know, we've been able to kind of weather the storm, and now we've got the vaccine stuff on the horizon. And so I guess that what I hope that I can carry on in 2021 is that everything's going to be okay. Everything's pliable. And when tough times come your way, you know, just ride it out, man. Do the best you can. Is that corny? It's pretty corny. I'll take it.
No, it's pretty damn good. Everything's pliable is pretty beautiful. With that, what are you going to be reading to us tonight?
Yeah, so I love the poem you read earlier. I'd never heard it, and this is kind of along those same lines, and I thought it was appropriate for 2020. This is from my third novel that I'm tinkering with right now. So my second novel is already kind of in the can, and so it doesn't like, you know, it wouldn't be appropriate at One Page Salon. It's not a work in progress anymore. But this is from my third novel called Narrow the Road, and this is, to set the scene, this is a dinner at a farmhouse in West Texas right before World War II, right before this group of folks endure a lot of hardships, personal hardships. They're on their farm, and so it's kind of the calm before the storm. But this definitely shows that the storm is coming. So yeah, that's what I'm going to read.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I've been thinking a little bit about this. Like, it's so hard to applaud from our old houses because, of course, we love the sound that we make as a group, and we are making a sort of spiritual sound together. So here's what we can do. You can do what Rebecca just did, making yays in the chat room. If you can't do the Y and the A, or you're not a fan of young adult, just put A, woo, 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 as Evan put, anything like that. Make some chat noise for joining us today, James Wade.
William could smell the coffee and the fried bread and the salted ham, and in the dining room the chairs sounded like miniature train horns as they were scooted closer to the table. And here was a memory he'd like to keep, a memory of being tired, of sharing in the tiredness, the hunger, the satisfaction of a day engaged, not merely endured. These lives come together around the table, each one having suffered more than their share of loss. And yet there can be no accounting of such things. No divine ledger wherein names are written and ordered by their tribulations that they have endured. There is no prize for resiliency. There is only more loss. As the history of the earth grows longer, it fills itself with replicate stories of war and hunger and death. And in such stories, man is not but a continual sacrifice from the universe to the gods, a slow-moving immolation in which man plays forever the role of the lamb struggling beneath the blade, neither understanding the outcome nor having a say in it. A mass bloodletting of the world entire, with every tribe falling upon the altar rock of earth. And in this hour of our extinction, the gods might demand a new offering, and the universe might provide, as it did in that great before. And might that the short reign of men be remembered or not, and might that someday some new creature of sacrifice gain the strength to face down the gods, pulling their neon bodies from the ether of the heavens, calling them forth for their own reckoning, for a measure of all that was purposed and all that was not. So that should celestial experiments continue to move forward, they be forced to do so without the cloak of mercy. If it's cruelty that is demanded of the universe, then let it be named so. But there at the table, these suppositions remain unapproached. They were not found in the bread or the meat or the milk. The lambs ate in peace and peace of mind. And that's it.
Damn, that's pretty beautiful. I love it when you get theological. That was great. Yeah, people are making noise in the chat room for sure. They're doing all kinds of chat applause. And as you know, James, we always have One Page Salon. We name every One Page Salon. We christen it. And we do it by me taking just a phrase against your will, stealing it, maybe even out of context. And I actually had two. First, I wrote down engaged, not merely endured, because I want to think about that as this year. But then face down the gods, man. So face down the gods is the possible title. Thanks again, James, for reading. I'm really excited about the next novel and this one. If you do get a chance, take James's class or hang out with him. Hanging out with him and Stacy and Charlotte, I would pay to do that, no matter what. And I think it's great. And also, he's going to give you beard grooming lessons like you wouldn't believe, because his novels are fine, but his facial hair is exquisite. James Wade, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy. Okay. And we are doing great with the stuff that's coming our way in the silent auction. That's where you can get Wade's class or the Hangout session. And there's a bunch of different Hangout sessions where you can just basically get to chill with writers for a while, and just sort of chat about stories and everything like that. And it's fun because we're all a bunch of book nerds. And I don't know about you, but one of the great things about being part of the Writers League of Texas has been getting to hang out with book nerds. Well, hi, Becca. How are you?
Hey, really quick, I'm just going to pop in to say it's not a competition, Owen, at all, but you're losing so far. If it were a competition, you would be losing.
You're saying that more people are choosing the query letter than how to make a movie.
Well, look, I actually want to say this. I'm barely winning because I think we've had one bid.
Oh my gosh.
One bid. Yeah.
Well,
so we're both not doing so great, but I'm doing better than you is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's fair. This is a fair. I'm okay with that.
Okay, I'm gonna hop out.
Wait, you're not gonna stay? Oh, okay. All right. Well, bye, Becca. This is basically my relationship with Becca Oliver. Every now and then she calls me up to say, "You're losing. I'm doing better." Click. This is how we live. Okay, I think we do have some cool guests coming on. Friends of the Writers League of Texas. They have left Texas, but Texas has never left them. Let's bring on Michael and Stephanie Noll joining us right here. Let's see if they're coming. Oh my goodness, there they are. Hi, Knowles.
Hi, friends. How are you?
Oh my gosh. It's so,
I know.
Yeah, it's great seeing you guys.
Just seeing his eyes is just mesmerizing, I know, but hi.
Hey everybody. Hey Owen. Hey Becca.
Well, we sure miss you guys here.
Oh yeah, James Wade.
With the great reading.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really generous of you to say that Michael had moved to a farm, because he sort of made a garden, but I think we got 5 beans out of it. So that was really nice of you to call it a farm, but not yet.
I don't think, is New Mexico known for its farms? It's not. It is. It's not Kansas.
They're small farms. They're little.
Yeah,
but they're plentiful.
Well,
all the damn hippies came here to do that, get back to the lands. So we're just following in their footsteps,
I love me some damn hippies. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah. So as I understand it, you're coming up on today to say that you're offering your own house as a 6-month writer's retreat.
It's a true story.
We do. We have a trailer and a camper, neither of which are heated, and they leak. But,
and wait a second, don't forget the unfinished chicken coop.
And a chicken coop that I have not yet finished.
That would be a delightful writing nook for anyone looking to socially distance and be cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds
Mhm.
like, I mean, just paradise.
Sounds like
Well,
paradise.
I mean, you can come see us, but we have a 14-day quarantine in the state of New Mexico. So you just have to wait outside our door for 14 days.
Mask up.
Then we'll let you in.
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, what are some of the things that you're most excited about on the auction? Like, because you should be pushing that.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you go first.
Oh yeah. So I'm really excited. Can I talk about my own stuff? My
Yeah,
own
yeah.
offer? Oh, good. Okay, that's what you were talking about. Okay. I'm excited about all of it. I want to say too how much, the Writers League has served our family so well for so many years, and started off as a friendship with Becca Oliver that just grew and grew and grew, and we both benefited so much from the organization, from the community, from the opportunities, and so glad to be here. So you should bid a lot of money to have a manuscript critique and consultation with me. I will read 15 pages of anything you've got, short story, essay, manuscript, any work in progress. And I will provide you with written feedback, and I will meet with you for 60 minutes. Becca was like, really? And I was like, yes, I like to talk to people. So, and it's kind of lonely up here. So actually, if you buy this, if you spend a lot of money, you're really serving me as well, because you'll give me someone else to talk to for a while. And so, yeah, you should definitely hang with me and do that. I'm really excited to get the chance to do that. And then you can also spend some time with me, John Pipkin, and Allison Makor. Yeah, and we'll do the writerly thing in a Zoom room, which sounds kind of dirty, but
It is kind of dirty.
I know.
Little jazz music.
I want to be in your Zoom room. Woohoo! That's not creepy at all. Nope.
No.
And then there's this dummy.
Right. So you should definitely bid more on mine than Stephanie's.
He showed up in a mask.
Yeah.
Like, it's really.
I'll be teaching a class with you and 3 of your best buds. And so you just bring like a couple of pages from a book that you love, or a story you love, or a nonfiction piece you love. It's kind of up to you. And we'll take a look at what makes those pieces work and how you can steal those strategies for your own writing.
I didn't know that's what you were doing. Really didn't.
Yeah.
Had no idea. I don't know his life at all.
Communication's the really secret ingredient of a good marriage.
A good marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm also doing a writer hangout. So it's going to be me and Deanna Roy, who's going to bring the hot heat because she's the romance writer.
Oh my
and,
God.
Donna Johnson's going to bring the Holy Spirit, memoir writer. And I don't know what with me, but
that's really naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. These
That's
are good. These are good offerings.
Yeah. Holy Spirit, romance, and Michael Noll all in the same Zoom room.
I mean,
I combine both of those.
Sounds like your mother's worst nightmare.
Yeah, probably so.
Well, thank you guys so much for dropping in and being here. I really appreciate it. I think it's a big thrill for a bunch of us. And I know for me, I'm like, oh, seeing you guys makes me very, very happy.
Yes, we love you and we miss seeing you. Who's your next reader? Who's the next reader, Owen?
Can I just do one thing really quick? Because you know me. Oh my gosh. Michael Noll, first of all, it's so great to have you here. It's so great to welcome you back to the Writers League via Zoom. And in all seriousness, and obviously, Stephanie, so much love, but you guys have just been such huge supporters of ours, but these things that you're offering are amazing, and we can't thank you enough because it makes a huge difference. And I know that folks are really excited. So, but mostly we miss you, and we want to get to that farm in New Mexico. We want to write.
I want to get there too. I don't really know where that farm is, but James Wade has he's got his finger on the pulse.
All right, I'm gonna back out, but it's good to see you. Thank you for being here, you guys. We really appreciate it.
Love you guys.
It's a farm where you guys grow stories. Story farm. I think I lost you there at the last bit. Okay. All right. Well, that was wonderful. Let's hear one more thing from the Writers League of Texas. I know you guys are going all the way to check out things. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hi, Owen. I'm good. How are you?
It's good to see you. I'm really well. So you're going to be telling us a little bit about some of the cool, if I'm right, some of the cool projects that are coming up too, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to talk about some programming and instructors and some fun stuff.
I bet you're like, I was telling Becca, I bet you're frustrated. I'm awful at responding to your emails. I'm pretty bad overall. I'm like, that sounds just like hating. I'm like, oh my gosh. So sorry about that.
I know this though. I always email you like way in advance to give you like those couple of weeks that I know that you need. So
I so appreciate that. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sam Babyak and I'm the program director for the Writers League. And I just want to take a moment to talk about our programming. And so year round, we put on classes, we put on free presentations, panels, on all kinds of things relating to the craft and business of writing. And I just want to say a huge thank you to all of the instructors and the panelists and the authors that make this possible, because none of our programming would be real if y'all didn't, offer up your time and do the things that you do. And I want to say a special thank you to everyone who has donated their time and their brilliance to our silent auction. You can purchase one-on-one coaching sessions with these incredible instructors. You can purchase private classes. You can hang out in a Zoom room with everyone. And there's just so much great stuff that you can take advantage of. And it's all because of these really phenomenal people. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And also, I just want to spotlight one of our programs, Project Wise. So Project Wise is our Authors in Schools Enrichment program. And we send authors to schools around Austin to give presentations to kids from elementary through high school. And it is so important and so valuable. And it is one of the programs that we rely really heavily on our grants. And as many of you know, those grants are being cut. And we want to keep going, and we want Project Wise to live on longer than any of us. And so I'm just really grateful that we have one of our Project Wise instructors reading tonight. And just keep in mind that that's one of the programs that you'll be supporting if you donate to our silent auction.
Oh, that is so cool. Oh my gosh. I'm loving that you're hearing that. So when people they think they're doing something selfish by getting to hang out with romance writers and Michael Noll, but they're actually, it's an act of generosity because they're helping all these cool things happening in programs.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's super great. Well, thank you so much, Sam. I'm excited about all those things too. Keep us informed. Let us know how the auction's going. And if we need to, we're using encouragement now, but we're not afraid to use guilt. We can definitely
use guilt. Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right, I think it's time for our next reader. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I'm so excited for this next reader too. Salima Alikhan, she is a writer. She's also an artist. She's done books for kids and books for adults and all kinds of different things. She also teaches at St. Edward's and Austin Community College. She just brings magic to the art of storyteller. Please put your chat clap hands together for Salima Alikhan. Hello.
Hi. It's good to see everybody. It's so nice to be here.
Oh, look, we get a real cool peek into your writing room there.
And my art area, which is not as messy as some and not as clean as others. So
I just love it. I've got one of those the artist dolls that you've got as well.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have it because I don't draw, but I have it. I think it's just to kind of pat me on the back, like you're doing fine.
They're cool looking. They add an ambiance, I think. I like. Agree. Yeah. So I just want to quickly back up what Sam just said about Project Wise. So I'm a children's author, and I get to go through Project Wise. I get to visit a lot of schools around Austin and present to the kids. And a lot of times these are Title I schools. These are schools where librarians tell me that the children have never had anything like an author's visit. So they're incredibly important, and they're so wonderful. And these kids they're so engaged and excited to share the creative things they've done. So with me, when I go. So yes, it is a wonderful program. it's a great program. So
that's so cool. Yeah. I love that the Writers League is doing that, of not only just sort of being a space for writers, but also being a sort of introduction to writing for so many people and creativity. Yeah.
Nurturing the community for sure.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Planting the seeds for the masterpieces of tomorrow. So are you ready for your 3 questions?
I am.
Okay, good. You've got a little more time than James Wade had. So number 1, what is a book that you are giving this season?
So you know what? I just fell in love with, I haven't actually been reading a lot of nonfiction, but I did read this, and you've probably heard of it. I feel like everyone's heard of it at this point. Cass by Isabel Wilkerson.
Yeah.
It is so good. It is so good. It's been a bestseller for a while now. It's an Oprah's book club pick. It's Isabel Wilkerson, she's the first Black woman to have won the Pulitzer for journalism. And it's just about the sort of unspoken caste system in the States regarding race relations and socioeconomics. And she is such a storyteller. She's one of those journalists that is just such a vivid storyteller. So it's amazing. I love it.
That's a great one. Okay. Yeah, I've been hearing about that book. It's good to hear you recommend it. I think I sort of finally did it. I'm like, all right, it's time to pick that one up. Next question. If you had to quarantine with characters from a book, which book would it be?
So I had an initial answer and then I changed it to an even one. And I think that so you know what? Mrs. Which, Mrs. Who, and Mrs. What's It from Wrinkle in Time.
That's a great answer. Wow. Yes.
Because they could take you places.
They could take you places. Yes.
You would be socially distanced out in the universe.
That's wow.
Right.
That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. Okay. Now the last question is, again, sort of like, as we're looking forward and we're looking back and we're kind of at this marker of moving into a new year, what is something you've learned in 2020 that you hope to carry forward?
Well, okay, so I've learned that on a very sort of personal micro level that I'm more of an introvert than I realized, which is it's a good thing to realize that. And then I think I probably realized something that a lot of us have realized, which is that a lot of the trappings, the distractions, when they fall away, when we're deprived of them, when we can't engage with them, I think that we just see that connection is what is everything. That it's connection. So I think that I've personally just been like so grateful that I've nurtured my connections to the point where they've been sustaining through this. And so to just really, really continue nurturing those connections, because I don't think that's something that societally we emphasize or prioritize very much, not nearly as much as we need to. So I feel like that's definitely what I've learned.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Oh my gosh, true words. What are you going to be reading to us tonight?
Okay, so this is a YA. It's a YA work in progress.
Yeah.
So it's a contemporary, meaning I'm sure most of the audience members know, but if you don't, contemporary just means taking place in the real world as opposed to a fantasy. So. Well,
my real world is pretty fantastical. I don't know what that means. It just means that I'm often mistaken for a hobbit, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, make some noise in the chat room. Send out love. Send out positive spirits for Salima Alikhan.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. So this is the very beginning of the novel. This is page 1. It feels like everyone in Half Moon Bay has been passed out drunk at my house at one point or another. That goes for the gray-bearded and withering musicians who've been prowling the coast, playing their ukuleles for decades, and the fresh-faced 20-something surfers who barrel in sunburn after a day on the waves to get shit-faced on my kitchen floor. This might be because my house has been owned by the same crack addict for decades, or so my roommates tell me. They're all in their 20s, my roommates, which might seem somewhat sleazy to the naked eye, given that I'm a 17-year-old girl and not even legal. But it works out in a strange way. I don't party with them. I stick to my little shrine of a room, my mausoleum of art, while they wage their campaign to fornicate with every girl drifting haplessly or intentionally through our walls. We live a peaceful coexistence, if not a symbiotic one. It's the closest thing I've ever had to the American experience, frattish drunkenness, debauchery, and hedonism. I realize it sounds like heaven to some people. As for me, I don't exactly know if I enjoy my vantage point of being a minor here who's afraid to do drugs. It's kind of like being in a terrarium watching the heathens breed. But it's entertaining, I'll give it that. I first see the house on a Tuesday. It sits on a corner, sandwiched among glorious beachfront houses. It's a one-story, faded and stained white stucco. The yard a tangled jungle. I stand on the street, sweating from my walk from Half Moon Bay's lonely bus stop, wondering if I've gotten the address right. I pause to look at the numbers scrawled on my palm. The house stands out like a sore thumb on the street, not only because of all the stuff I just mentioned, but because of what's hanging by chains from the old-fashioned stone archway over the walkway to the door. It's the back seat of a car.
Wow. Oh yeah. Wow. That's going to be good.
Thank you.
It's such a funny thing. I didn't know much about YA, I think, until my daughter started reading it. And I was like, damn, these are the best books, the
standard is pretty high, and it goes all the way from like super literary, like Fault in Our Stars, is a good introductory YA to people who are a little wary of it. But
yeah. John Green's great. And have you seen his brother and they do that sort of online education videos? I'm like, I'm in love with these brothers.
Crash course for sure. Yep.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Oh, well, thank you so much. It was interesting. I was like, what's going to be the word the phrase that I choose as a possible title for the December 5th, 2020 One Page Salon? I chose debauchery and hedonism as a possible. I hope that's okay. But I was like, I've always wanted to call a night in my life debauchery and hedonism, and I haven't yet lived up to it. But tonight might be the night.
Yep.
So thank you so much. And when can we expect this one? What are we thinking? Do you have an aim for this one?
This is just a work in progress. So as soon as it's done, I'll send it to my agent and we will go from there. So we will see. I'll be working on it, next year for sure. So I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited too. Thank you so much, Salima. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, guys. So as we're moving on, we've got a couple of cool people coming our way for sure who are going to be reading to us. But first, let's talk to Lindsey Ferriss, who does a special events for the Writers League of Texas. Hi, Lindsey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Lindsey, you chose a really secret spot. We can't tell anything about where you are.
I'm back for a second. Kelsey is also going to join you with Lindsey.
Hey, Kelsey. Yeah. All right. Great. So Lindsey and Kelsey, fantastic. Are you going to be telling us about the cool stuff that we're silent auctioning?
Yes, me and Kelsey are here to tell you all about some of the very exciting auction items.
Great. All right. What's the best? Are you going to take me? Oh, there we go.
Here is the first one. I stole a little bit of a haiku from Becca. Here's one of them, and I'm going to read another one. A haiku package, 17 syllables worth of pure Owen or Austin love. So this Haiku Austin gift bundle contains a signed copy of Haiku Austin by the author, Carlotta, and 2 Haiku Austin t-shirts and a set of greeting and holiday cards. So it's the perfect gift for a friend who just moved to Austin or even yourself. And it's yours for just $75. That's the next bid.
Wow, that's a steal.
Exactly.
What? Okay, what's next? Oh my God.
So you can treat yourself and up to 10 friends, which can include Owen. He has all of the poses down for a 60-minute yoga class with Heather Holland. It's made just for writers and includes writing prompts throughout the yoga class, which is for all levels of yogis. So this picture could be you if you just bid on Yoga for Writers.
I'm terrified to know what else is in it. Oh.
Okay, guys, so I'm jumping in to tell you about some more auction items that we would like some bid on. So you see this beautiful painting in Owen's wonderful shed. And this painting is by local writer Carol Dawson. It's beautiful. It's almost like the 12-foot skeleton in the Home Depot thing where you could see the skeleton in your home before you buy it. This is what the painting could look like in your home. It could look this beautiful.
Did you replace my face with my face?
Yes.
Well, that seems above and beyond.
Okay, next up. You could be like Owen. You could be studious. You could be a student in a private class. And this is a really cool opportunity to have a private class with an accomplished author, with you and 3 other friends. I mean, think about how much you can get into the critique and the work that you're doing. So definitely consider that. And then last up, I'm here to talk about the After Hours with Authors.
Oh yeah.
And you can join Owen, you can join James, you can join Michael Noll. We have so many wonderful writers. And so this is similar to the private classes in that you get some one-on-one Zoom time with them, but you can also just like talk about anything you want. But you can pick, have you ever asked an author, hey, can I just pick your brain for a little bit? This is an opportunity to do that. Socially distanced in a really wonderful way. And then I also, before we kind of kick it over to some other authors you might see, possibly, for After Hours with the Authors, I wanted to give a little update on where we're at.
Yes,
so
please do.
right now, we have raised $14,840.55, which is 74.2% of our goal. Our goal is 20,000, so we're so close. I've been like just obsessively refreshing my browser to see the little pie chart get all the way to 100. So right now, $14,840, and the goal is 20,000.
Wow.
Where is Owen's?
Yes. How am I doing?
Yeah, how's he doing?
Oh yeah. So the update is Owen does have 1 bid.
I have a bid.
You have 2.
And it's not me, Owen. It's not me.
Someone likes me out there.
They do. That's very exciting. So I think we're gonna bring on some special guests. I just promoted them from attendee to panelist, and I'm gonna let you have a little alone time with Stacey Swan and John Pipkin.
Okay, well, thanks to Kelsey Williams and Lindsey Ferriss there for taking us through all those brilliant things. Oh my gosh, there's Stacey Swan, one of my very favorite people in the entire world. It does my heart very good to see you, Stacey.
Oh, it's so wonderful to see you, Owen.
Yeah, and I know we're going to be joined by John Pipkin in just a minute. But as we are, I also know, why don't we just, let's put all 3 of us. There we go. Hi, John. How are you?
Hey.
It's great to see you, John. So I know that you guys are, I'm going to take this guy off, but I was making little poses with him. I know that you guys are, you've got one too.
I've got one too. I got this also. This comes in very handy.
Wow. Do you do it so like you're like, can a body do what I'm trying to do? And
well, when writing gets lonely too.
That's true. Sometimes your muse is just a piece of wood. Stacey, anything? Do you have like a mannequin? It would be great if you just pulled in a mannequin.
Oh, I do have, I have one thing that is not nearly as cool as that, but or it's different at least. I have Zeus, who's holding a slinky
cool.
And a Votes for Women pen.
Would Zeus vote for women?
Yeah.
I mean, he liked the women.
Yeah, I think so.
He just seems a bit of a mass. Yeah, he's a bit of a, a chauvinist. Zeus did.
Yeah, but more women on his TV screen. Like, I think he'd be down for that.
That's good.
And he became a swan, so.
That's true. I mean, that's a good, yeah. I've actually been thinking a lot about, because of course Stacey's upcoming novel that has so much mythology being retold, and then I've been reading Michael Fry's Mythos, which is kind of a retelling of all the Greek myths. Do you know this book?
I haven't read them yet, but he's got like a series now, I think, all around. Stephen Fry, is that the book?
Yes. Did I say Michael? Yeah, Stephen Fry. Yes.
I just saw the other day he had a new one out, and they're all revolving around Greek myth, but I haven't read them yet. Is it good?
So good, and really funny too. Just really, really funny. Yeah.
I think he's a great writer. Like his novels, I read his novels back in like the late 90s. The Liar, and they're just really great.
Really great. Yeah. Yeah, you'll love. I mean, you know all the myths, so you'd probably be like, that's fine. But
no, I think he's much smarter than I am. So I'm not
sure about that. So I know we're going to be talking. You guys have both done a bunch of different stuff for the Writers League throughout the years, and then you guys also both have really cool projects on the silent auction. Stacey, you're doing the one where you're offering a full manuscript review, right? Which is like got a lot more bids than mine. Like it's got a bunch more.
It's good for the ego, the auctioning.
Not mine. It's not. It's been a
but mine. So, you just got put on, Owen. You just got to give it some more time.
Yeah. But that's pretty great. You'll read someone's full novel and critique it.
Yeah. So I was telling Becca earlier today, it was I used to do that as one of my primary modes of income was editing novels, and I haven't had to do them. I'm just kind of working with existing clients now. So I thought, oh, well, it's a nice thing to offer up because I'm not like having to do them to pay my rent. And so it'll be kind of fun to return to that. And I always I feel like I learn a lot every time I read someone else's novel. So I'm looking forward to that. And I wanted to make the word count bigger because as a person who wrote a novel that was like around 100,000 words, I feel like it's always unfair when people are like, I'll look at 80,000 words. And they're like, but wait, my novel's more than that.
You only look at the first 80,000 and your big question is like, but how does it end?
You really should work on that ending that I won't read.
It just ended. It ended after mid-word. Like, John, I know you're doing one of the Hangouts. Is there something else of yours on the silent auction?
I do. I've got a couple of other things out there. I've got 2 copies of my first 2 novels, or rather 1 copy of each, first edition signed, and I will do a personalized doodle, a one-of-a-kind scribbling in each one. Some illustration has yet to be decided for the book. And then also I'm doing a manuscript critique as well. The first 30 pages of a manuscript. Stacey, I don't have quite the stamina to offer an entire manuscript critique, but the first 30 pages with a detailed critique, and then also a 90-minute Zoom conference to talk about those opening 30 pages.
Oh, that's brilliant. My gosh, I really should get on there and start bidding. I would love either one of those. Someone has asked if there's going to be, if anyone wants to, in the chat room, so YouTube can't see that, but I want to ask, does anyone else want to bid on Owen and John's artist mannequins? $200 opening bid.
Duke it out, right?
And a lot of people were a little bit confused. I think it's been a better explanation of what the after hours hangout is. But it would be kind of like if we got on a Zoom, like the 3 of us and someone else, and we were just all chatting, right?
I'm going to tell secrets.
Oh, really?
Do you have good gossip?
I was thinking about, we teach these classes, we teach these workshops, but then there are all of these anecdotes from things that we've encountered in the publishing world and dealing with editors and agents and stories about the publishing process that don't quite fit into a class or a workshop. Those are the things that I plan to reveal in an after hours chat.
I think that is brilliant, John. I hadn't thought about that, but yes, I have a couple author stories that I wouldn't tell publicly but I might tell privately.
Yeah, this is sort of semi-public, right? The things that any story that begins with, you would never believe this, but it's true, right?
I like it. So it's a little bit, there'll be like a little bit of a cone of silence. We're like, listen, it's just us.
That's right. Everyone's going to have to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, I think that's really brilliant. I was excited about the after hours thing is the thing I'm most excited about. I really want to like bring the lights down low and just make it feel like we're either like in a corner of like some cafe on a rainy day and we're drinking Earl Grey or whiskey. We're just hanging out. Like, come on.
We'll get a fog machine.
I've already got one somewhere in there. Well, it's really good to see you guys. Do you guys want to have any final words to support the Writers League or anything like that?
I just wanted to give an extra shout out. Like, we all know how much amazing work the Writers League does, for people who are learning about publishing and learning about writing and the community it builds, but also it does amazing things giving writers jobs to teach these classes. It can be really hard to make money off your creative life. And I know that those paychecks I get that are based off of teaching fiction, they're really special to me, and they give a lot of money to local Austin authors.
That's so true.
Yeah, and I would just add in there, I think it's incredible the work they've been doing in the middle of the pandemic. It's always a challenge and a struggle to run a nonprofit. I was executive director back in 2006. So, I mean, I know firsthand how hard it is to keep any kind of nonprofit afloat, but to be doing it under these conditions and also to be doing it successfully in a way that is still fulfilling their mission and everything that they're doing for writers out there is just amazing.
Oh man, you guys have said it so well. It looks like the hanging out with you, Stacy, is only down. There's only one spot left, is what I've just been told.
Awesome.
So,
and you've got, besides me and the amazing James Wade, you've also got Charlotte Gullig, who is one of the funniest people on the planet, really.
So true. So true.
Yeah, and very nice and very smart and knowledgeable about writing. So can't go wrong.
Yeah, but now we know that John is going to be spilling the tea, as the kids say. I think get ready for everyone.
All the dirty little secrets about publishing you always wanted to know.
Yeah, I might sign up for that one myself.
I know. I'm just thinking, if someone steals one of my other bids and my budget opens back up, then I'm gonna hang out with John and Stephanie Noll, right?
That's right, Stephanie.
Yeah, it'll be a wonderful time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, John Pipkin, Stacey Swan, two of my favorite writers and two of my favorite people, which is pretty great. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Owen.
See you after hours, where we tell the secrets and we play with mannequins. Okay, let's continue on. We have another great reader, our third reader of our penultimate reader of the night. And I'm so excited to be having her tonight. She is a literature graduate from University of Washington and the University of Texas, both. She's had all kinds of a career in educational publishing, but she's also a romance and women's fiction writer. In fact, she was a finalist in the 2015 Writers League of Texas Manuscript Contest, a contest that I never even placed in, but was a big part of my early writing, was just finishing a draft so I could turn it in for that. So I think it's really, really cool. I'm so happy that she's here. She's also on the board of the Writers League of Texas, so she's one of the wonders that keep this train chugging along. Please give it up for Gina Springer Shirley.
I'm going to applaud for myself since I can't hear anybody.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
There's got to be a way that we can start to sense a round of applause, because boy, chat's going nuts. You just got to trust me on it. People are in their homes cheering for you.
I will take your word.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited that you're here, not only because of your work as a writer, but because of your work to on the board of the Writers League of Texas. Can you talk a little bit about that, about your experience with them?
Yeah, I went into it with much trepidation. I was recruited to join the board, and I was nervous, and I had a lot of questions about, like, what does this mean? And all it means is helping this organization keep being awesome. That's it. You know, we support Becca, we support everyone on the staff, and we make all their dreams come true.
Yes, guaranteed. Well, I mean, one of the things that I love about the Writers League of Texas, and always have, is that it's made up of, on the like the people who are running it, the people who are teaching, the people who are in the group overall. Like, you know, we're all the same. Like we're book nerds, and we're trying to tell stories in the best kind of way, in one direction or another. We love these things. We love these strange objects of books.
And we are such book nerds, all of us, every one of us.
Yeah, and it's just great. It's hanging out with book nerds is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your 3 questions?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
Okay. Well, you got more advance notice than James did.
Than
So.
James did, yes.
Yeah. All right, my first question, what is a book that you are gifting this season?
So it is actually 5 books because it's a series. In this year that has been 2020, I have just been needing to escape. I've just been needing to, I'm reading about a life that is completely different from mine. And I picked up the Lady Sherlock series by Sherry Thomas. And it's so fun.
That's so great. One of the readers from One Page Salon.
Yes.
I'm so glad. Those are so fun. And so that's great. Okay. That's brilliant. And you're going to be gifting all of them?
Yes. I can't just give one. Come on now. She's on number 5. I'm about to start number 5. And, I'm just, the whole thing is going here to there to there. Yes.
That's brilliant. No mystery there.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Get out. Okay. Next question. If you had to quarantine with the characters of one book, what would the book be?
Okay, that was super easy. One of my favorite books is The Temple of My Familiar by Alice Walker. Yeah. And I would absolutely love to hang out with that cast of characters.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, one of them is an old woman who not only is aware of the thousands of past lives she's lived, she talks about them all the time. What? One of them is a woman who is exiled from an unnamed Latin American country, who used to be the woman who made the regalia for the village shaman. Mm-hmm. From bird feathers, but she only used feathers that had fallen naturally from the birds. She didn't pluck them. I mean, there's a lot there.
Man, Alice Walker. Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. 2020. We're coming up to this break, and it's funny because, of course, New Year's is always it's a fake thing. It's something we put in the calendar, right? It's not. It's not spring, or it's not. There's nothing astrological. It's just a day. But there is sort of feels like, things have with all the strangeness is still coming with us. It's not going away. But new vaccines, a new White House. There feels simultaneously a sense of change. Mm-hmm. What is something that you've learned from 2020 that you hope to carry with you?
I definitely, absolutely, positively want to stop procrastinating about travel. Because one thing 2020 has taught me is you never know when you won't be able to do it. I had these trips in mind. I kept putting them off. I kept saying, maybe in 6 months. Oh, it's not the right time now. Or it's not. And now I can't go anywhere.
Yeah. That's yeah. I mean, procrastination overall seems like.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. That's a good word.
Yeah, I'm ready to go somewhere.
I'm ready to go somewhere too. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, at the top of my list is I need to go see my dad.
Sure.
Absolutely. But also there was a lot of fun trips that now we can't take.
Yeah. Let me ask you then one more thing. I see that Kirby. Hi Kirby, how are you?
Jumped in.
I'm going to ask you, we're going to get you in just a minute. So if you turn your video off for now, and then we'll be coming to you in just a bit. But thanks so much. That was like a surprise.
Yeah. I'm like, do I have to talk to Kirby now? What's happening?
It wouldn't be bad. It's a good person to talk to. I was going to ask you about your writers group as well. Is it Pen and Fork? Is that right? Your writing group?
It's Pen and Fork.
Yeah.
Are we famous now?
Oh, there's a lot of talk.
We need t-shirts, maybe bookmarks, something. Oh, notebooks.
There we go. Cutlery.
It's a long-standing writing group that started, I want to say in 2005, but I might be lying a little bit.
That's okay.
With Beth Sample and Rodney Sprott, who coincidentally have both been Writers League Board of Directors presidents.
Yep.
Yeah, we meet under normal circumstances. We meet once a week, usually at a restaurant. So there's the fork. But yeah, we write together, we critique each other, we support each other. It's fantastic.
That is great. That is great. Well, I mean, that's so much of what, Writers League is all about. Okay, what are you going to be reading to us tonight?
Oh, so I'm reading from my work in progress. So I like to write stories about women getting what they want. And sometimes getting what they need, but maybe they don't know that that's what they need, but they're definitely getting it, whatever it is. And I'm writing a novel right now about a woman who is coming into her own, it's a coming of age for an adult. So she is a single mom, and the mothering didn't come easily to her, but she's figured it out. She's got a groove. She's got a career job. She's finishing up that college degree. She's getting it together. And she does not have any sort of romantic interest in mind. Men are not on the to-do list. So it's a little bit of a complication when she meets a new colleague and their friendship starts to turn spicy, and her husband comes back to town.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
As it happens.
And your estranged husband might suddenly just come home one day. So I'm gonna read a little scene from that.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it does sound pretty good, pretty spicy. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room, make some noise, send some love. She couldn't hear us before, but I wanted her to be able to feel the sensation, feel the shaking of her wall. There we go. Yes, send in that love for Gina Springer Shirley.
Orlinda was pleased with herself. Of all the people present, her boss, Mr. Davenport, a pop star, and her mother, two public relation agents, one of them a formidable businesswoman, and the other a handsome executive, only she had gained the ingenue's favor. She had grinned through the handshakes and farewells, lingering with Mr. Please call me Valentine Jackson. Mr. Davenport had praised her work. Orlinda was walking tall and feeling fine until she heard an unexpected greeting. Hello, Orlinda. Recognizing the voice, she immediately heated with anger. She turned on the speaker with a murderous expression. If you'll excuse me, Mr. Davenport, she managed to say. Certainly, join me in my office in 15 minutes. She waited immobile while her boss's footfalls blended with the murmurs in the museum atrium. Chin lowered, jaw firm, gaze fixed, she inhaled a gathering of fury, exhaled it like rolling smog. Her mind whirred, processing the sight of the first man she had loved besides her father, Lionel. He had swept her off her feet back in college, rushed her to the altar, and made 2 babies with her. Then he left. For a good career job, he said. I'll get us set up, buy us a house. For months, he prevaricated about the job, the housing market, how nothing was as he expected. Their calls went from daily to weekly to less to none. Everything to be said had been said. Yet here he was, asking, how are you? No dumber question exists in all recorded human history, Orlinda thought. But she had some questions of her own, like, how the hell do you think I am? And why are you back here? And what do you want? Her thoughts were so loud, she expected them to reverberate off the walls. She made a show of looking at her watch. Do you really want to waste time on how are you? I truly want to know, he said. He shoved his hands into his pockets. Something jingled. Car keys, most likely. That's when she remembered the principal's bullhorn at the school drop-off line this morning. The driver who had turned away, the car that suddenly cut into traffic. And later, stepping through the employee entrance here at work, looking back for no good reason and thinking she'd seen a familiar face through an open window. She should have rushed at the car, yanked open the door, cursed his name. She throttled back her anger in order to speak. How long have you been following us?
Hot damn. There's going to be some fireworks in this book, yes?
Yes, repeatedly.
Good. Take some fireworks to light up the night, you know? Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. And you know, it was interesting. I was like, yeah, of course, I always choose a phrase. I was like, what would be kind of a fun phrase? I'm hearing all this kind of fun and everything. And I was like, oh, call me Valentine would be a fun phrase. But then I was like, man, it would, I think maybe December 2020, maybe the perfect title for any night would be, how the hell do you think I am?
That is definitely appropriate for where we are right now.
Yeah, so true. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, not only for your writing and the stuff you do, and but also the encouragement you are to writers with your group, and also the work you're doing with the Writers League of Texas. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gina. Hey, and for those of you guys who are out there, keep bidding, because you remember the silent auction ends at the end of the One Page Salon. So the silent auction is ending. So if you want Becca's query letter advice, they don't. Well, I mean, you got no one wants that. Well, they're going to John Pipkin. They're like, I get to hang with John Pipkin. He might not be wearing a shirt. I heard that. I mean, he didn't say that, but it was definitely implied that he was not going to be wearing a shirt. And
I don't think it was implied.
I think he was saying it with his eyes. He said it.
We're gonna say something really funny. What was the thing? Wait, Owen.
Bring my camera back on. Wait.
Owen, you had a really funny statement earlier about comparing John Pipkin's novels and the After Hours experience. Can you remember what that was?
We were discussing, John. We were discussing that maybe the After Hours seemed a little bit risque in just the wording of like After Hours, hanging out with a writer. Like, what do people think they're bidding on here? Is this like some romantic connection? I said, well, John, he's just like his books. It's long and satisfying at the end.
I don't think that's the way you said.
I think it's what I said. The experience.
No, but you didn't use the word long. You said it might take a lot of time. It might take some time.
Oh, well.
Satisfying at the end. Whew.
With a lot of historical elements.
He really does his research. Yeah, so just to update.
I have no words.
That's a first, John.
Just to update you, we are less than $5,000 away from our goal. So it's time for us to bring in the big guns, bring in the people who can get it done.
All the people with a ching ching, they've been waiting in the sidelines, like boom, boom, boom.
We're going to bring in a special guest who is known for just closing deals, I guess, is what I would say. Like, making it happen. All the way from Scottsdale, Arizona. Shall we give it up? Is he here for?
Yeah, yes, he's here. He's here.
Oh, I can't see him.
No, we haven't brought him in yet. There he is.
Kirby Kim.
Kirby, thank you so much for being here. For those of you guys who don't know, Kirby is a fabulous agent. He is one of those agents that if you're in the world of books and you're in the world of publishing, you keep hearing about him and from his clients and from publishers. People love him, not just for his taste in books and his ability to close deals, but for his personality too, which is a second in agents. It's ability to close deals. It's all about the money. That's why we're in this industry.
He's a little boring, but he's really good at closing deals.
Thanks. I thought you'd wait to do the mitigation of all that praise, but let's start. Let's do it.
Let's dive in.
Yeah. Let's let him in on the real me.
Kirby, how are you? Tell us about your evening so far.
What did we do? I made some food for my family. My wife and I went over our Christmas lists.
Oh.
We got that done, which is about 2 weeks earlier than the usual. What else?
EECKA, just to remind you.
Sorry?
EECKA?
EECKA? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind that, my son is named after you already. Don't worry. I know how to spell all your names.
Thank
Oliver.
You. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But that's it. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to watch Letterkenny later. Do you guys watch Letterkenny?
I've heard it's so good.
It's amazing.
I'm not
I gotta say.
Tell me and do your agent thing. So this will be a great example of how brilliant Kirby is. Give us the agent quick pitch on Letterkenny.
Letterkenny?
Yeah.
It's a show on Hulu, half-hour comedy. We're in the 9th season next, and it's based in Canada, and it's just super, super dry, bone dry humor. And, it's an easy watch, especially these days. Who couldn't use an easy watch? So I highly recommend it. It's a cross between Veep and Hillbilly Elegy, kind of. I don't know. It's
that's some unusual parenting.
To that, so I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
It's really good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Kirby, go ahead, Becca.
No, yours will be better. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know you've come down to Austin a couple of times for the Agents and Editors. Cheers. Agents and Editors conference.
Yeah.
And is that, well, I never know, how is that experience for agents? Is it a good experience for agents? I know what it's like.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. It's funny because I went before, I think Becca, assumed her position there, and so I predate the regime, but it was so great, and it was, and then Becca invited me back, and I'll go back anytime because Austin's wonderful, but it's such a well-run conference, and both the agents, the editors that are invited they're always people either top-notch or about to become a big deal. And so it's nice to kind of talk to them and talk shop and get to know them. But then also the stable of writers that are always there present are always so impressive. And I always have a good time interacting with them as well. So it's all Becca has to do is say, yeah, are you available? And I'll make the time. So, I'm grateful. And I love it out there.
That's so cool. Yeah, that conference is always, so go ahead, Becca.
Well, so Kirby, so for the auction, you were actually the one who came up with the idea of ask us anything for agents. And I remember you were like, they can ask me anything. And I wrote you back and I was like, anything? Because I was going to bid on that. And then you were like, no, within the writing space. So your your Ask Us Anything spot is actually sold out. No one can buy it anymore. It's gone.
Wow.
Unless tonight in the room, you were to agree to do one more hour, just Kirby Kim, and 5 lucky bidders. 5 people ask you anything, asterisk, writerly related. You down to clown?
I mean, I feel like I'm being proposed to at a professional basketball game or something. Like, how am I supposed to say no?
You can't.
I'm 3 in, so yeah, let's do it. You know?
Let's do it. All right.
Let's do it. I'll say yes to whatever.
So we just added this item. It is on the website now. It's one of our featured items in anticipation of Kirby Kim saying yes.
Wow.
And
this wasn't spontaneous pressure.
So, since Owen and my items have really just fallen flat, we've added Kirby Kim so much that you can bid on, who is one of my favorite, I mean, honestly, like one of my favorite humans in the universe. Just like one of the best people you'll know, and also like a really smart agent and really good at his job, and a delight. So get over there, bid on Kirby. If you don't, I mean, Owen and I will just hang out together, and I'll learn about screenwriting and he'll learn about query letter writing. But
people are removing their bids from us and transferring it over to Kirby.
That's not the idea. It's got to be additive. It's got to be additive. And I'll, for this next session, I'll open the field of inquiry beyond publishing even, and I'll give you my TV recommendations. How about that? You just heard one. I just dropped one right there.
For a second, I thought you were going to say that you would give any information you had about me.
We don't have to tell her.
And then I was like, great, now I have to buy 5 seats in Kirby Kim's.
I spent 10 years with Becca in New York during the wildest years of her life. So,
yeah.
Actually, when Becca and I first met,
he hated me.
Like this.
He hated me.
It was like this. She really gave me a shot. I gotta be honest. I don't know.
He was a tough nut to crack, guys, Kirby Kim. But I just got in there and I just boom, boom, boom. And eventually a delicious, tasty nut.
Well, we were forced to work next to each other, and that helped things, right? No, it was great.
Kirby is he's a genius. So go on there, guys, bid on that last item, and throw Owen and I a bone. We're less than, in all seriousness, we're less than $5,000 away from our goal for tonight. We are we're a small but mighty staff of people who work really hard to bring quality programming, not only in the last 10 months, which I'm really proud of what we've done in the last 10 months, but you know what? We've been doing it for a long time. And it's just that we've never been in this position where it feels a little scary and we're wondering if we're going to keep doing it. So we could use your help, whether it's bidding on auction items or making a donation or buying something in our gift guide. Tonight is actually the last night to buy items in the gift guide, t-shirts and mugs if you want to, if you're gifting them to someone in order to get them before the end of the month. But we could use your help. We don't ask it often, and we're asking it now. So we're less than $5,000 away. Owen kindly has pledged to match, to make it to to be the difference.
Is this news to you as well, Owen?
This is. Unlike the person being proposed to at the basketball game, I think I know how to say no.
Welcome to the party.
You want to keep Owen from having to write a check that will definitely bounce. If you want to go ahead. Buy an auction item. Buy Kirby Kim. Buy Kirby Kim tonight. He's worth it. Yeah, and that's all I
think
got.
I am.
You're
think
worth
so.
it.
I think so.
You little.
What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about query letters, right? We're going to talk about your first 10 pages, how important those are.
So you'll read 10 pages, is what you're saying now.
Well,
now
that's not what I said. I said we'll talk about how important.
Sounds like you were going to read 10 pages for everyone.
You really are just taking like little nuggets and making them into larger things.
That is what the Writers League does so beautifully.
You're going to introduce everyone to Common, is what you're saying. Like you're going to introduce.
Right. That's what's going to happen. That's going to happen. Sure. I can't even get him on the phone. So yeah, he's coming for that. We can talk about the Simon & Schuster acquisition and what that means.
So interesting.
For publishing, what that means for you as writers. I don't know. That's what an AMA is. It's ask me anything, right?
Yeah.
So
you are so right. You are so right. All right. Well, we're gonna get to our last reader of the night.
Thank you for being here, Kirby. So appreciate it. And
my pleasure.
To you, Becca. Yeah, thank you, Kirby.
Is it my cue to get off now?
Yeah,
it's your cue.
You should go.
Good night.
Kiss Mira and Oliver for me.
I will. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, Kirby. Becca, I wanted to say too, really quick, a thing. In all honesty, before we get to our last reader, and I know you're going to say a few words more, but I just wanted to say, like, the Writers League has been, as long as I was living in Austin, and at some point I was in a VW bus writing. And I was so excited to go to the Kinko's just north of campus and Xerox the manuscript that I was working on and drive to the Writers League of Austin's office, which then was on, I think, 5th Street, and run in and try and turn it in. And it wasn't just because there was a contest with cool aspects to it on its own and everything like that. It just meant that someone was going to be reading and someone was going to be thinking, and there was going to be a community of writers that I was a part of. And that just meant so much to me at the time, that there were other people who had the same kind of dreams that I had and the same kind of passions that I had, and were willing to share. It meant the world to me then. And it still does today. And this particular year, the word pivot has been abused awfully, but it's appropriate. It's been wild and wonderful to see the way that you have supported writers, both in as Stacy was saying, the opportunities to teach and the opportunities to be with other writers, but also just like taking a whole conference and putting it online and virtual, but making classes and making them online and virtual, and making groups and doing what was so clearly, what Salima said earlier that we need so much now is connection and community. And you guys have provided and fostered connection and community in a really difficult time. And I know I'm not alone in finding that to be a true gift of the year. And I'm incredibly grateful.
Thank you. No one signed up for your class during that beautiful monologue. Here's what I want to say. Because we're rounding down, guys. We're saving the best for last. We have an amazing reader coming, but I want to say a big thank you to the staff who you saw tonight: Sam Babiak, Kelsey Williams, Lindsey Ferriss, Evan Parks, who you're about to see. I think that we have done an amazing job. I'm very proud of us. And we're not perfect. Today we had a Saturday morning class and someone in that class didn't get their link for the class. We believe we sent it, but they didn't get their link. We're on YouTube right now, and someone on YouTube didn't get their link for the webinar, and we get it. Like, we mess up occasionally, but we do everything we do with great heart and commitment. And I am so lucky to work with the people that I work with, and who just selflessly every day do everything they can to support the writers in this community and to support this organization. So I want to thank them it's the end of the year. Usually we'd be in a room at the North Door, which we're never going to be in the North Door again. Like, that's heartbreaking. But we would be in the North Door, and you would see them on stage, and you would be excited to applaud them. And so here in this virtual space, I'm going to say, they're amazing. Our staff is amazing. Our board of directors are amazing. And I'm really, really proud of the work we do 365 days of the year. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your dollars. Because I know, guys, believe me, I know it's a tough time right now. And anyone who can't offer any dollars, I get it. Please save your dollars for what you need them for. Send us an email and tell us that you appreciate us and that you love, hanging out with us. Because that means just as much. Like, just the community that we've gathered together in this period of time, but also for the last 40 years, is meaningful, and it's special, and there's nothing like it. And I'm really honored to be a part of it. So with that in mind, I'm going to pass it to Owen to pass it to the last reader. But I will say too that everything we've done in the last, since May, I think, was the first One Page that we brought to the virtual world. And Owen said at that moment, he said, how can we do this, but do it for other people? How can we make it meaningful for other people? How can we raise money and give back? And so that was the spirit that we entered into this great partnership in May. And I think that I'm going to speak for Owen, as I like to do, and say that that's what we want to do moving forward. We want to keep raising money for as many great organizations and folks who deserve it and need it. So join us in 2021, because we're going to do more of it. Reach out if you want to read, if you want to be a reader. We want everyone who wants the chance to have a stage to be able to get up on that stage and read. And then finally, I'll say, Evan Parks has been an amazing part of the last 9 months for us and more. He has done things on YouTube that I don't even know what they are. He has edited videos. He has offered his very unique but wonderful perspective, his humor. So I'm excited to pass it back to Owen to introduce our last reader of the night, who represents the staff and represents the best of the Writers League of Texas. So thank you.
Thanks, Becca. Yeah, as Becca pointed out, every one of our readers, if you've noticed, have had something to do with the Writers League of Texas. They've been teachers. There've been success stories coming out of the Writers League of Texas. They've been on the board, and they've worked on the staff in some different ways. And that's no exception for our last reader of tonight, J. Evan Parks. The J was new to me, so I'm kind of excited to hear more about that. But Evan he's a graduate from the University of Texas. He double majored in English and Japanese. I mean, 2 languages, which is pretty amazing. He also was a head writer and executive producer of Down to Film. So he probably can tell you that you really should sign up for my thing on the silent auction, because he kind of knows about that. The Rocky franchise, I practically wrote most of them, uncredited, but practically. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for J. Evan Parks. Hey, how did you do?
Hey, what's up?
How did you do that?
What do you mean? I'm just in the shed.
That is creepy.
Oh.
That kind of scary. It makes me want to look behind me. Oh, I see. Well, how are you, Evan?
Talk me into it. I had to do it.
It's brilliant. How are you, Evan?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Good. It's good to see you. And what does a J stand for?
Stands for my first name, Joseph. Think of it like H. John Benjamin from Bob's Burgers. Just call me Evan. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. I'll think about it just that way. Well, I'm really excited that you're going to be reading tonight. And I know a bunch of folks are. Are you ready? Are you ready for your 3 questions?
Let's do it. I had time to grab props. I had time to think up of jokes. Let's go for it.
It's exactly why we put James first, so that he doesn't grab props or think up jokes. His books are amazing, but they're not comic romps. That's not, it's not what James Wade does. Okay, so first question. What is a book that you will be gifting this season?
That's a tough question because I don't want to spoil it for whoever may be watching.
Oh,
so
point.
I will say a book that I will be recommending this season, Beowulf, A New Translation by Maria Davana Headley.
Yeah.
It's an awesome translation of Beowulf because it takes like the old stuffy English high school classroom version and makes it like accessible and pretty funny at times, as well as inspiring.
But there's like some like modern language, like, Grendel was thirsty, or like, right? I don't know. I haven't read it, but like.
It starts out with the word bro.
Okay. But it works. It works, huh?
It works so good. It's so good. I like when I read it, I catch myself having to stop, go back and read the entire thing out loud just because like it really catches me.
Wow, that's excellent. Okay, that's a great one. Next one, you have to quarantine with the characters of one book. What book is it?
Oh, that's really easy. Judson Moon from The Kid Who Would Be President. You see, I think after all the politics right now, no, I'm just kidding.
Why do you have that book? It's amazing.
Like I said, I got props. My quarantine reads, I think I'd have to quarantine with them. From the Witcher series, I'd hang out with Geralt and Dandelion. That's with all the fun tales they could tell me of the monster slaying, the songs Dandelion could sing. It would be easy enough after you get past how annoying some may be or how grumpy others may be.
So you're presuming they're moving into your place and not that you have to move into their place.
I sure hope I wouldn't have to.
That would
last long.
That would change it, right? Okay, last question. 2020, big year, and it's so interesting because of course it's been a big year on the international and the national and scale, but of course also in just people's lives, changes and things happening, drastic life moments and celebrations. What is it that you're hoping that you've learned from 2020 that you'll carry forward?
Well, I'll tell you something. Graduating during the start of quarantine was not fun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It after graduating, it's left me with a lot of free time, especially since I can't go anywhere. It's really made me invest in like figuring out hobbies and things I like, and I think that spirit of adventure that I probably would have had to discover another way. I want to keep going forward because I just keep trying out new things. I learned how to roller skate. I'm learning how to skateboard. I started building these little Gundam figures that are a lot of fun to build.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to carry that forward into 2021. Spirit of adventure.
Yeah, and just different hobbies. So we could be seeing you making figurines on your skateboard all around town next year.
You could.
Well, that's exciting.
Don't put past me.
So what are you going to read to us tonight?
Well, I'll be reading from a work in progress, as everyone should be. It's a short story I worked on while I was still an undergrad. And I've been thinking about how to expand it out more, but right now it's a little something. I'll give context when I get into reading it, but it's something.
Well, that's what we're looking for, a little something. That's brilliant. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, make some virtual noise. Maybe make some soul music, and you're just like shaking, like vibes that you're sent out or typing into the chat. Whatever you need to do to celebrate for yourself and for all of us and for Evan. It's J. Evan Parks.
Thank you. All right, so this is leading into this section. There's two protagonists and things are weird. Their settings are like bleeding into each other, but there's no other relation to that point. And I'm just gonna go right into it. I stood back up and looked around. The phone rang and I answered. It was only a dial tone, but high-pitched. A splitting headache shot into my forehead, knocked me back onto the stool. The stool toppled over from the sudden force, and I sprawled out on the ground. The tone got louder. This wasn't right. None of this was right. My stomach turned over, and it took all I had not to throw up. My head was killing me, as if a hole was drilled right between my brows. The tone got louder and louder and louder, and I screamed. Something had burrowed itself deep into my brain, and my body was feeling the shock waves. I grasped at my head and pulled at my hair, struggling to breathe. Then it stopped. I stood up, righted the stool, and sat on it. My head felt a bit fuzzy. There's the slightest pressure. It's probably from the heat. I picked up my graphic novel and started reading again. I didn't recognize any of it. Some superhero schlock, Dr. Singularity. He was pretty cool. Never heard of him. What? There was a kind of itch inside my head. The door to the store opened and a police officer came in. Hello, sir. I'm responding to a call from here earlier about a robber. The officer was barrel-chested, a real stocky kind of guy. Yeah, some guy robbed the register, held me at gunpoint. I said, what robber? I had the feeling I wasn't supposed to be here. Do you remember what he looked like? The officer pulled out a notepad. I'm sorry, I don't remember a robber. Yes, I do. Why am I saying I don't? But I don't remember a robber. I was at the office. There was no robber. Excuse me, sir, what do you mean? Was there a robber or not? He asked. Hold on, I'm trying to figure something out. I don't work at an office. I work at a bookstore. I'm a programmer. No, I sell books. I hadn't touched code since college. I didn't see a robber. Wrong. Sir, it's against the law to prank call 911. Please, it's too loud. I can't think. There was definitely a robber or not. Yes, robber, face mask. No, I don't work here. I just walked in on accident. I was here unloading boxes this morning. Stop talking, stop talking. He's looking at me funny. I can't stop talking. Please stop. The officer looked concerned. Listen, it looks like you got a lot happening in your head. Listen, it looks like I suggest you call professional. He left quickly. I can't blame him. I feel like I'm going crazy. I walked over the door, locked it, and turned off the open sign. I don't know how I knew where the switch was, but I knew I needed some time for myself. I think I definitely need to call my therapist. I hadn't seen her in a few days. This is definitely something she should know about. Her phone number, 323 something. Where had I seen that before? I don't even have a therapist. I definitely don't know one's number. I held the phone to my ear in a daze. I wasn't sure if I knew a therapist number or not, or where I lived, or where I was even supposed to be for that matter. I held my finger over the dial pad, but couldn't bring up myself to tap out a number. The dial tone buzzed. Then a woman spoke. If you'd like to make a call. She stopped and there was silence.
Hot damn. Evan, that's great. Oh my gosh. That is pretty damn good. So you're working on that. You're not sure exactly what it's going to be yet, huh?
Yeah. It's a short story right now.
Yeah.
I want to make it a bit longer, and I have some ideas about how to do that, but still working on it.
Well, you could always sign up to hang out with John Pipkin or Stacey Swan, see what they think. James Wade. I mean, you could, there's solutions. I know some solutions if you go to the silent auction.
That's very true. And you know what? I have a screenplay I'm working on.
Oh. I thought you would. I know you've got like a thing for film. Well, we can chat. I'm pretty sure the going rate is really cheap right now. I think if you get on there,
you might have to get on there and bid. Make you read my Chopping Mall reboot script.
Yeah, I would love to read your I've been thinking about your Chopping Mall reboot. I'm like, come on.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be very topical.
It's the one thing who knows what the future of film is. No one knows, except that fans are hungry for Chopping Mall 2.
We need one.
We need one. Ladies and gentlemen, Evan Parks. Thank you for being here, Evan. All right, guys, we are down to the final few minutes now of the silent auction, the final few minutes of the One Page Salon. The last things we're going to be doing basically is naming tonight. And in those few minutes, so it's like, it's 9:57 according to my clock here. That means we basically got 3 minutes because we're ending around 10. And this is your chance. This is your chance to swoop on in there and just find a way to. Oh, you're gonna get Becca. You're gonna get to hang out with Becca for cents. You're gonna get to be hanging out with all these cool different. There's Kirby Kim is gonna tell you everything about his own life. John Pipkin won't wear a shirt. All these different opportunities have a class in your house, to have one-on-one conversations, to be having a hangout, to have critiques on the opening of your novel or your full novel, all these different things. And at the same time, you are supporting a group that not only supports you as readers and writers, but is also reaching out to young people, especially in hard situations, and giving them an outlet to creativity. So you are making the world a more beautiful place, and you are investing in the books of tomorrow by participating in this silent auction, or just donating. You can just donate too. How are you doing up there, Becca?
I'm good. So I had an idea, Owen.
Yeah.
Your game.
Well, tell me the rules.
So I was thinking, because we have our 2 items, and we're actually neck and neck right now. We're both at 300.
So this is for your query letter, 2 meetings for 45 minutes, a couple of readings of the query letter, and advice on the top 5 agents that person should send it to.
Yeah, by the way, worth a lot more than 300. And what did you say you would have charged for what you're offering? I believe you told me you would have charged $5,000.
It's true. For a couple of reasons, I don't often do critiques of screenplays, and I'm the writer who comes in and does punch-up work in LA. That's part of my job, and so when I do it, I usually would charge $5,000.
What do you mean? What does that stand for?
The L stands for loss, and the A stands for angels.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I want to propose something like a little crazy. You with me?
Yeah.
If anyone were to go in right now and bid $500 for my item, they would get both. They would get you and me both. And if they go in and bid $500 for your item, they get both. They get you and me both.
For $500, you can get both?
Yeah. Yeah. But you can vote twice. Like, you go in and you bid, if you go up to 500 for my item, we're done. You're getting both. And if you go to 500 for your item, we're done. You're getting both. What do you think of that?
I love it. So if someone was to bid 500 for yours and 500 for mine, they'd get 4. No, the math is hard, but I get it.
That would be silly. Why would you do that? I wouldn't.
The only problem is if someone bids $500 for yours and then also gets mine, the only problem is I'll have to call the police because a crime is taking place. They're stealing something. That is just so low. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think if you call the police today, they might not respond.
Fair enough.
We're in a bit of a situation, but yeah, I agree. 500 for both.
500 for both. So that means that 2 people out there could get both Becca's offer for the query letter and my offer for the screenplay. One person bidding $500 for Becca's, one person bidding $500 for mine. My goodness. But they've only got minutes left.
Right. Plus, we will send them a print of this beautiful this picture of the last, what Evan called the last Owen, which
something I don't know about.
No, it's just fun. And by the way, Lindsey, I hope is going to pay attention and shut stuff down if anyone goes up to 500. So yeah, that's all I got.
Ooh, that's pretty good, Becca. That's pretty good. Lindsey, I hope you are shutting that down. That's pretty fantastic. So we had a slew of great writers and great guests today. I was just so impressed with everybody let's go ahead and name tonight. I'll go ahead and list the names of the possible titles that you can name tonight, the December 5th, 2020, the last one of the year. Where'd Becca go? The last one of the year. And you guys can choose. You just basically put in the chat what you think the name should be, which name we should choose. Is it going to be Face Down the Gods, Debauchery and Hedonism, How the Hell Do You Think I Am, or Itch Inside My Head? That's the one for Evan. Itch Inside My Head. Which one is it going to be? What do you think we should name the December 5th, 2020 One Page Salon? I'm going to be watching the chat to see as the votes come in. People like debauchery and hedonism, face down the gods. Oh, inside my head. Oh, there's a lot getting. How the hell do you think I am? Face down the god. Oh my gosh. Okay. We definitely need some more. We got itch inside my, oh my goodness. Okay. It's close. It's close. Let's see. Votes are coming in. And like a real election, it doesn't, just because the vote is changing doesn't mean it's fraud. This is real. How the hell do you think I am is how the hell do you think I am is just came up from behind. It was itch inside my head, but how the hell do you think I am is really making a run now. Boom, boom. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm calling it in the next 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm calling it for how the hell do you think I am? A question. A question is the ending title for the final One Page Salon of 2020. And I think that's so damn appropriate because my goodness, with any answer, anything we've learned from 2020, if anything, what we've learned going back to what James Wade said at the beginning is it's a pliable world that we live in. And our lives and our future are being shaped by our actions and words today. What that means is the investment that you make, whether it's a donation or a silent auction or a sweet word or an act of encouragement, is going to be shaping whatever 2021 is. There's no reason that all the pain, the suffering, and the injustices that we were witness to in the last year can't follow us into 2021. They won't stop at December 31st. But what can happen, and what we really realize, is if we speak truth and we speak kindness and we encourage words and we celebrate artistry and craft and the narratives that we read, then we will be helping to shape a better future and a better 2021. And one of the ways that you can do that is to invest in your own craft with all these cool items on the silent auction, and invest in your community, which is also giving into Writers League of Texas and other things they're doing, and investing in the future, which is also when you give, donate, and bid for the Writers League of Texas because of the things they do. So I hope that you're doing that. And I know this is all kind of bidding stuff and everything like that to support the Writers League of Texas, because I would really love us to get to past that border. But the other thing is, man, I just hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're taking care of yourself in real and significant ways, because this year has, I was going to say challenging, and challenging feels too small of a word. Maybe all the words feel too small of a word to describe what this year has been. But the moments that will also stay with us, along with the grieving and along with the challenges and along with the realizations, will also, I hope, be shining moments when we saw that we have the ability to take care of each other. We have the ability to celebrate each other, and we have the ability to maintain connection, even in the hardest of times. Okay, we have named the night. I hope you're doing great. I just want to once again thank all our different readers tonight. James Wade, Salima Alikhan.
Come back on, everyone. Come back on.
Oh yeah, bring them all back on. Gina Springer Shirley, J. Evan Parks. Yeah, bring everyone. If you guys, yeah, bring on the staff too. There we go. Yeah, Sam and Lindsey. Oh, there. Yeah, bring on just everybody.
Yeah.
Look at
Stacey Scott's got a beautiful like sort of I don't know, cathedral window she's doing right there.
So beautiful. And James is posing for his new Christmas album, which will be out on Spotify later.
I had to go find a prop. I literally put all this up just in the last few minutes, because you took the prop shot at me. I'm not a jokester, but I can do it.
A Christmas tree is not a prop, James. It's a symbol of the season.
What do you call this guy? Huh? I have little toy figures too. I'm cool. I'm funny.
Oh, a little nutcracker. Nice. Nice.
Well, thank you guys all so much for being with us. Becca, are we down? Are we closing the auction? Do we need to do a countdown here?
It's going to close down officially at 10:30 p.m. So we have 23 more minutes. I believe, Owen, you reached 500. So I'm doing a double thing.
But people still have a chance.
But I haven't reached 500 yet. So I'm doing 2, but you're only doing 1.
But people still have a chance to bid 500 for you and also get a second.
They do. We're at less than 4,000 to our goal. And I want to say to everyone here, thank you so much. And in all seriousness, like we kind of made this goal based on a number of good like mathematical equations that made sense to us, but I don't think I really thought we would get this close to it. And it's been pretty amazing to see how wonderful people have been and how supportive. So thank you so much. And I'm going to say, you know, I have a ton of thank you cards to send out in the next few days. James made an amazing donation to the Writers League within the last week that he will be getting a proper thank you for. People
Becca, can I say that on that donation that Jordan and I made to the Writers League of Texas, there needs to be an asterisk because I owed Owen a donation to a nonprofit of his choice. And because Owen Egerton is a man who hates charity so much, he did not get back to me for like 6 months to tell me who to donate to. And so I just made the decision for him and donated to my favorite nonprofit, which is the Writers League of Texas. So you're welcome, but also thank Owen. And I love you all so much. And thanks for having me.
Once again, Owen Egerton's procrastination benefits the Writers League of Texas in such a positive way.
It's my superpower.
No, people have been amazing. So thank you everyone so much. And, you know, keep hanging out with us. Like, honestly, Sam has put together an amazing year of programming for 2021. So we're not stopping here. We have a lot coming up and we're excited to spend a lot more time with you, both virtually and then maybe one day we'll actually get up in your face in person. Dare to dream. I want to say I'm personally so proud of Evan for his wonderful reading. That was so cool. And Gina and James and Salima, like what a cool group of people. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. 21 more minutes of bidding. Owen, what do you want to say?
I just want to say thank you guys so much again. I get everything that Becca said. It's really, really wonderful. And I'm all giddy. I'm going to be smiling till 2021.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a great night. And we're going to reach out to you because if you made a bid, we're going to actually need you to fulfill it and give us the money. So
it's all about the Benjamins.
That'll be Kelsey's job. She gets to call you and ask you for your actual money. So keep in mind that beautiful smiling face when you get that phone call on Monday. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Happy holidays.
Yeah.